Today our topic is, where does the mind reside in our body? Where is the mind located in the body? This question was asked to me some years back by one of my friends. At that time I could not answer it properly. And he told me that mind exists in each and every cell of the body. But I had my own doubts. Why it exists only in each and every cell of the body? Why can't it exist outside the body? This thinking gave rise to various thoughts from me. I thought in different directions, and this thinking gave me different new ideas, which I would like to share with you here today. None of these ideas are new, because there cannot be any new idea, any new discovery, or any new invention, because everything is already there. The whole universe is always full, and nothing new can be added there. Whatever you call new is only something we have taken from there, or the combination of various things we have taken from the universe. Everything already exists there. I've heard some species of worm, when it is cut into two pieces, each part becomes a different entity altogether. Both the parts have different separate lives, and they live their own separate lives. I don't know whether it is true, but one thing we all know, that by planting, you take out the stem from a plant and plant it, in the case of certain plants, that grows into a different plant altogether. So one part of a plant becomes a completely different plant. So while thinking about the mind, the original plant had a mind. When a part of it is removed and planted, and this forms into a completely different life, does that original mind comes along with the new plant, comes to reside in the new plant, or whether that mind is retained in the original plant and a mindless body only comes along with the new plant? Or is it that the mind is split into two, and one part is retained in the old one and the other part goes with the new one? Or is it that the mind is split in proportion to the number of cells in each of these plants, in each of the body parts is formed this new plant, as well as which is retained in the original plant? It's confusing indeed. In our body consists of so many various cells. My friend said, mind is in all our cells of our body. He is right. Each and every cell of a body is having a mind of its own. It is a completely different and distinct mind, which is completely different from the mind of the whole, which is our own whole self. Each cell has got a completely different mind. The similar way, each combination of the cells has got a completely different mind altogether, which is different from the mind of each of these individual cells. My left hand has got a mind, my right hand has got a mind. Both my hands together has got a third different mind. So any number of permutations and combinations can be made out of different cells or different body parts, and that many number of minds exist, and these minds are completely separate from itself, having a separate life and existence of its own. So there are innumerable number of minds existing connected to our body, but all these minds are controlled by one whole mind, which we call our mind. We directly know only of our whole mind, not about our individual mind, which are connected to each individual body parts or combination of them. But the whole mind can control all the other individual separate minds under its jurisdiction, which control the connected body parts. When we are angry or our mind is agitated, this agitation and anger is transmitted to the mind of our stomach, which translates into indigestion or some stomach disorder. If our whole mind, that is what we call our mind, that becomes calm and quiet and happy, the calmness and quietness and happiness is transmitted to each and every mind connected to all or every part of our body, and which again is transmitted to the physical part of the body, which is controlled by the concerned mind, and the body start functioning in a normal way, in a happy way, without grumbling. This is called a disease-free functioning of the body. As these individual minds, small fragmented minds of each of the body cells or body parts, are to our whole mind, of our whole self, the same way all the individual whole minds of all the animates and inanimate things in this universe are parts of one universal mind, which is the one big whole mind. As far as our mind, our whole mind is concerned, our wholesome mind is concerned, as I said earlier, we can have a controlling force over the other minds connected to our different body parts. But we cannot completely control those minds, and we do not have complete control over them. They have got a mind of their own, and they have got these body parts, I mean to say, they have got a mind of their own, and they have got their own intelligence. Those minds have got their own intelligence, and they work on their own. Since our birth, they have been breathing. But very rarely we become aware of the fact that we are breathing, because it is a process which is continuously happening even without our knowledge. This function is done by the mind, which controls the body parts, which does the function of breathing. Thus, the digestive organs, they are doing the process of digestion, digesting the food. Without our knowledge, we don't do anything special about it. It is automatically happening. We only know how to eat and how to excrete. The other part inside, it is not voluntarily done by us. It is a happening without even our knowledge. Who does it? It is done by the intelligent functioning of the mind relating to those body parts. It has got its own intelligence, maybe its own brain also to use that intelligence. Our capacity of our mind is, the wholesome mind is limited. So our capacity to control the individual minds under our jurisdiction is also limited. But in the case of the universal mind, it is the sum total of the power of all the minds taken together. And its power is enormous. So, all the minds, everything is part of the universal mind. Everything is interconnected and interwoven. So, by directly connecting to the universal mind, we are able to have control over all other minds, which are again connected to the universal mind. The way to control any mind, any part of the body also, which again is controlled by the mind of that body part, connected to the body part. The way is to get linked to the universal mind. Again, coming back to the question, where in the body does the mind reside? Mind is a non-physical thing, though it is attached to the physical. And body is physical. Both are in two different layers altogether. They are in different realms. So is it this very question absurd when we ask, where does the mind reside in the body? Both are in two different layers altogether, and there is, the only connection is, both are interconnected. So, the question itself is absurdity. Mind doesn't reside in the body. Mind resides in a complete different world or complete different layer. But it controls the body. And body is the mind evolves into becoming the body. Mind becomes the body. You can call it the reflection of the body. Body is not real. Even mind is not real. When we stop thinking, mind disappears. Mind is nothing but the process of thinking. When thinking stops, mind dies, mind disappears. Mind dies or disappears doesn't mean that it cannot reappear again. Like rebirth, it can reappear. May your mind be filled with all good thoughts. This may ultimately lead you to go beyond the boundaries of the mind to a higher realm. Thank you.